BuzzFeed is a different story. The social content hub relies on sharing, not Googling, gets double the traffic from Facebook than from a Google search, and 40% of its traffic is actually mobile. So what does the company think about Facebook and what some call this buzz-killing mobile challenge that they face? Jon Steinberg is the president of BuzzFeed, joins us here on Post 9, and everybody who's on the web regularly knows the name. Good to have you with us, Jon.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So we're all asking a question this week ahead of the IPO about when social advertising really takes that giant leap forward. When does it happen? From whom does it happen?
It happens from everybody, and it happens from all big brand advertisers, and it's actually starting to happen fast now. We started on this journey of doing social brand advertising about 2 years ago, and now we're really seeing the cascade hit. Banners just don't work. Washington Post had down digital revenues, New York Times had down digital revenues, AOL was down by 1% on their core product. The brands don't want them, they don't work. I believe that social advertising will be kind of definitive online advertising in a very short period of time.
Has there been a game-changing purchase yet, or does there need to be something else, a movie launch?
I heard the comment that David made about Iger saying that he doesn't think that a movie would launch on Facebook. I don't think that's true. I think a major movie would launch now on Facebook. In fact, they do. I think you get a lot more social interaction. People indicate that they're going to see the film, people make plans, and social is really word of mouth on steroids. So it's almost everything in one when it comes to advertising.
One of the concerns this week has been what Facebook said in the S1 about mobile.
Yes.
And how much more difficult it is on mobile. Is that platform moving so quickly that even a giant like Facebook can't keep up?
I think they're being very cautious in saying that because they're under monetizing right now on mobile. Ultimately, social will work better in mobile. Social is a stream type experience. Sponsored stories, which are going to be their core advertising product of the future, flow in the stream. So you'll see that, Carl bought a Ford, or Carl's going to go to McDonald's, or Carl likes this or that. It lends itself much more to the narrative flow of the stream. The banners work even worse in mobile. So this is even better for them, in my opinion.
Won't it be less profitable, though, in terms of what you make off of mobile versus the PC? I mean, that's always been the knock of any mobile strategy.
Patrick Pinochet at Google had a good comment. He said, I don't know why people think that mobile under monetizes. What we see is the CPMs and CPCs people are willing to pay in mobile are better in most cases. I think if you talk to premium publishers, they say that they can get better prices in mobile right now. There's no reason as the world goes mobile that the wall between desktop versus mobile doesn't become irrelevant. And if where the eyes are and where the interaction is, that's where eventually the dollars will go.
But hang on, you're biased here.
I am biased.
You're saying this is the way the world will be, and the world may not be the way that you're saying that it is. So let me play devil's advocate to you. It is significant when Iger says we will not launch a film in this way. That is a significant statement. It is significant that we have repeated reports that the advertising industry is not being courted by your industry in a way in which it is used to. It's used to having a relationship. It doesn't want to book its adverts online. It's, there's a whole panoply of feelings and emotion that goes around the advertising industry into which we are told Zuckerberg is not plugging in. That is very important moving forward.
I 100% agree with you, and I think that when you look at the lack of growth right now in Facebook, it's attributable exactly to what you're saying. This is an industry where you need to work with the media agencies, the creative agencies, the brand direct. You need massive account coverage. You need to embed yourself with these teams and explain things. And I think that Facebook is a little bit behind the game on that.
But their argument is we want to preserve the sanctity of the user experience, right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. It's that they think they've invented a silver bullet, and actually that's not how business works. Business works around relationships that are built over a huge amount of time.
I think they recognize that. My one concern is when I hear them say that they're going to slow hiring growth, that to me is the one red flag, because they need a massive sales force, just like Google has. Google has thousands of people in Chelsea Market that call on the Fortune 500 to explain these products, walk them through. AdWords is a complex product. Facebook sponsored stories are a complex product. You're right. They need to make that move to understand that we're going to court people and explain and take the time.
You used to work at Google.
Yes, I did work at Google.
I'm curious, by the way, for the record, I said that they will open a movie on Facebook, right, in responding to Jim. But I'm curious, in your dealings with Google and Facebook, as the president of BuzzFeed, who is easier to deal with?
Well, we find that the future is really social, and the social traffic that we get is better than search traffic. Granted, we get double what we get from social that we get from search. Search is like a wet Nerf ball. It just thuds, you get no bounce. Social is a bouncy kind of traffic. So we love the Facebook traffic. We're able to buy ads and extend campaigns through their Facebook Ads API. We have great account coverage. We have a great working relationship with them. They're an excellent partner to somebody that's in their ecosystem.
But you sound skeptical when it comes to Facebook and how well it's positioned to actually partake in this wave towards mobile. I mean,
Because you want them to do more. It sounds like.
Yeah, they're not hiring enough. That's a red flag for
that's
you.
in terms of the sales
They're
coverage.
not engaging enough.
That's in terms of the sales coverage. I think they need to do more hands-on training and education, and I think that's why when you look at a report like out by Evercore, which shows the revenue growth, the next year it's not so much. I think it's $7 billion next year. To get to that $20 billion number in 2017, that's a big sales force. That's calling on IPG, WPP. That's having teams dedicated to each brand.
Reading between the lines, you think that they won't reach that target, given the pace of hiring they're doing right now.
I think that if they make the switch in the next year or two and start building up the sales, right now I don't think they have the sales force.
Are you going to get a piece of the IPO?
I will buy the stock personally, but I'm not getting any allocation.
Is there a price at which you think it's too rich?
I mean, I think I would go as high as 150 billion as a buyer right now in market cap. I do. When you look at the PEG ratio on it right now at 100 billion, it's 0.7 if you use 2013 earnings. I mean, why shouldn't it have a PEG ratio like LinkedIn?
There you go. So I've known Jonathan since he was a young guy. He's been following the stock market a long time. He used to watch me when he was in high school.
So you're a privately held company, obviously.
We are, yes.
And so what sort of valuation would then that put on your company if Facebook can go up to 150?
I mean, I couldn't even imagine and begin to speculate how their valuation would travel down to us. But I mean, I looked, I've studied all the multiples. I've looked at all the multiples specifically with the Evercore report, which I think is quite good. And even when you do it on a GAAP basis, EPS, and you have the more stringent version of the price to earnings multiple, it comes into line. I mean, I have it here that it's LinkedIn 3.5, Amazon 1.1, eBay 1.2, Google 0.7. Facebook comes in at 0.7.
That says a lot. Jon, thanks for coming in.
No, thanks for having me on.
Come back soon.
I will. I'd love to. Thanks,
Jon
guys.
Steinberg.